And we are live. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Tara Lee Live. And today we have an amazing special guest today that has never been on my channel before. It is 70s Mama from Hash Church. And her name is actually Lisa. So I'm going to let her introduce herself. And then I'm going to let the other two ladies continue to introduce themselves. And then we're going to get right into a really cool conversation we were just having. So go for it, Lisa.
Thanks, Tara. Hi, everybody. My name's Lisa, but everybody has always known me as 70s Mama. I am currently the director of faculty for the Cleveland School of Cannabis in the Columbus branch. And of course, I previously was a cannabis grower, cannabis breeder. I do have a strain called Mama's Chili Bomb. And I was also a caregiver for a short period of time there in Michigan. So thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for coming today. I appreciate it. Yeah. Kathy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Kathy, and I am a medical patient here in Massachusetts. No formal training. We were just having a very interesting conversation, but we're gonna let you guys listen to it in a few minutes. Hi.
Hi, I'm Hyla for today. Yeah, we're just women interested in cannabis and growing, and we were having a conversation about women in the cannabis industry, and we thought we would bring it to you people because this looks like it's going to be very interesting. So
yes, we were actually just having the conversation about how would a woman or someone today get involved in the cannabis industry. And lucky for us, I feel like we really have a professional in the room here with Lisa, 70s Mama, because seriously, here she is, someone that used to hang out with me in chat at Hash Church. And here she consumed all this information, took in all this. I mean, now, if you're going to consume information, that was the place to hang out and consume information. And here she is consuming all this information. And now look at her. She's teaching in a college about extractions. So if she's going to know how to get involved with that, she's going to be the one to know how to get involved in this cannabis world, I think. So go for it, Lisa.
Okay, great. So I was just kind of explaining about, first of all, it's who you know in some instances, networking, going to some of the local meetings, whether it be normal or, whatever activist groups are out there, and putting your feelers out to all those people in the industry, letting them know you're interested. That's what creates a conversation. And that, that person may not know of a job, but they may speak to somebody else in the room that does, and it puts the feelers out. So you start actually getting, some responses that way. But I was just telling Kathy, one of the things you can do is to actually create a cannabis resume. And when I wanted to actually get into the legal market, I took my standard resume and, I had all of my job description and education, that type of thing in a format. But then I kind of had some side window panes and across the top. And in those panes, so that they were highlighted, I put my cannabis experience, whether it be different shows you've attended, been a panelist on, different seminars you've attended. It doesn't have to be necessarily, I attended this school. It's just what have you extracted from the community, or, what knowledge you've learned and through research. And you just highlight that on the side so that when you're trying to get into the cannabis industry, you have that resume ready, and they can actually see that you have knowledge, you understand. You may even put something about knowledge of the endocannabinoid system, just the different things that you have learned through your journey. And then you can, also put, so for mine, I had on there, previous grower, um, previous breeder, specific things that I had accomplished, whether it was in the black market or whether it was, in the legal realm. You want to highlight that experience, because when people are looking for someone to work in their dispensary or, in their grow, they want to make sure that you truly do have a basic knowledge of the business. And then they'll start looking at your employment experience. Okay, they have a little knowledge of the cannabis industry, but do they have customer service? Do they have a medical background? There's a lot of those things that you never realized would also help you by highlighting that part of your resume, because it's what you can bring all together to, that employer. So that's kind of what I suggest starting out with is make a regular resume and then make a cannabis resume. So anytime you're applying for, I know Indeed has a lot of, I just put on there, medical marijuana, and it would show up any job that would come up in that industry. And, you'd send your cannabis resume and then maybe a little short cover letter that kind of dives into what you've done, some of the research, that you're a medical patient, that through your journey, that these are the different things you've learned, and now I would like to share those things with others and change mentality, prohibition mentality, just things like that that you could put in a cover letter that actually the employer sees that you have a real love for the cannabis industry and knowledge, and passing it forward.
A lot of good information. It's stuff I didn't think of when I started putting my resumes out there. I actually didn't put any of my cannabis experience on there, and wasn't sure whether or not I should put it on there. To be honest with you, even though it's legal in Massachusetts and I do hold a license for it, I worry about whether or not it's okay to allow that to be on a resume in writing someplace.
I always had two. I had one for the, whatever job I was applying for. But if it was specifically for, medical marijuana job, I would have that cannabis resume ready to go so that they could see both, both sides of my experience. And I think too, by highlighting it, if you can take like a Word document, a lot of times they'll have those resumes that are already, it's like a template that you can use where they've got.
I did that with Indeed when I first signed up. That was a little template, and they do the same thing for the cover letter. And you can actually save that on your computer and, be able to use it to email it right out. And you're right, it Indeed will bring you a ton of information about jobs in the industry.
Right. And it doesn't hurt if you, so for example, somebody that's in the industry, someone that has a show, someone that is in cannabis education, to give you a written reference, so that when you attach your resume, you attach that written reference from somebody that's, in the cannabis industry, that could, state that you've had the pleasure of meeting this person and was pleased to know how much cannabis information that they already had. And it was a pleasure speaking with you. Those type of things that you could put and attach. It just really kind of makes a big splash when you're trying to get into the industry, is that someone's done their work and they really, they really do have the experience. And most of the time they're going to train you from their perspective, and their SOPs. So it's not really about, what you can do once you're there. It's, will you be able to absorb the concept? Because for someone that has never been in the industry, that's an awful lot of information to take in. And if you're actually talking about getting in a dispensary, how can you even try to recommend certain products without having a big knowledge base behind you? So you really want to highlight what you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to relook at now that we've talked and you've given me more information. I'm going to take another look at my resume and leave out a lot. that's on there, you know, and try and bring in some more of the cannabis related, you know, my experience with it. And
Yeah.
I'll get back to you, let you know if anything pops.
Please do. It'd be great to hear.
Awesome. Girl, that was amazing. I love that conversation. See, I told you we needed to have this conversation, and everybody's loving it out there. Thanks, everybody that's tuned in today. And yes, we do have a cap. We have a cap in the tea today. We're trying our hashtag friend TomTech today. TomTech today. I have, here's the stem, in fact, of the stem. So we were discussing about mushrooms, and I'd like to get someone on here that would talk more about mushrooms, because we were discussing maybe you should have the cap in the morning and the stem at night, because the stem, you know, gets really the blue, you know, it really turns the blue, and the cap doesn't ever really turn that blue. Maybe there's some different type of things that we don't know about, just like we don't know so much about the cannabis plant and all the terpene profiles that we still, and the cannabinoids that we don't know so much about and how they interact with one another. So who's to say? What do y'all think?
I just wish I had some mushrooms right now. But
sorry,
I know. I was like,
I have to say, I've been enjoying it, putting it in the tea like that, because there's no nasty taste. But
you
it's
just
very nice.
You put it in the tea, and then what?
I put the cap in the tea. And
it's just sitting right here. Yeah, it still hasn't really sank. It's just floating. It's just kind of there. What? Yeah.
You don't,
and then you just drink the tea.
But you're not going to drink the actual cap after?
Yeah, but you know what I don't get is that, like, a little bit of jittery feeling when I do it this way. If I eat it, then I tend to get more of a jittery type of, this is very, very nice. It's very controlled, very relaxing.
Doesn't it get slimy too? I heard if you steep it in tea, then, you know, after your tea is about done, a lot of people try to eat it and it's kind of slimy.
No, I'm not going to eat it. I have to say I throw it away. Now, if you know, I don't know, can I bury it in my garden? Maybe that'd be the better way to be a little bit more, you know.
I make peanut butter sandwiches with them.
Right?
Peanut butter sandwich.
You don't taste it. I make a half a peanut butter sandwich, and then I just crumple up the.
With your psychedelic mushrooms?
Yeah, and then I just crumple up a little bit of the mushroom onto the peanut butter and eat it like that. You don't taste the mushroom. Right. Peanut butter covers it up.
Okay. It's just me. It was just not cutting it, you know.
Well, I'm ready for a dab. So I know you got some dabs, girlfriend. Let's go in on some dabs. Why don't you show some of them dabs off high? I know she's got some diamonds and she's got all this other stuff she's got going on. Good gosh. So I'm going to go in on some lemon pie rosin that I've pressed out a while ago, and it's pretty buttery now. I love the consistency of it. It tastes amazing, and I pressed a whole bunch yesterday. I still haven't pulled it off the paper, however. So if you want to know any information on rosin pressing, we went back and we did some rosin pressing yesterday with different types of humidity. I talked about the humidity and different types of returns and heats. So if you want to go check that out, you can. We're going to probably have some more of those with DK coming up. So hi, what you got today? Puffin' up.
So I've got these beautiful little diamonds.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
So I'm going to have some of these, I can't remember.
Do those like remind you of those little sour heads? Like they look that yellow, you know, what are they called? Lemon heads? Lemon heads.
Lemon heads.
I don't know. We don't have lemon heads.
Like, what I'm looking up, they look like lemon heads.
We don't have lemon heads in Canada, as far as I know.
Oh, they don't? Oh, okay.
I don't know. I've never seen a lemon head.
Oh, you guys have ketchup potatoes instead.
Oh, yeah, that's chips. Wrong. That's just wrong. So I'm going to mix some of this diamond into some of the lemon sauce that I got. There we go.
Bingo says he ate peanut butter Girl Scout cookies. He ate them on peanut butter Girl Scout cookies at a music festival once.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing he's talking about his mushrooms.
You know what I was thinking? Those peanut butter eggs, you know, Easter coming, those Reese peanut butter eggs where you can just stick it inside there and eat the peanut butter egg. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I may have to try that. Those are right across from my register at work. They're right there. I can levitate it across the aisle and bring it to me.
Awesome. Lobster's puffing on some dark plasma OG. Cheers. Cheers to that, everybody out there, whatever you're puffing on. What else is going on? Kathy, did you say what you're puffing on?
I have some wreckage.
Wreckage. Nice. I pressed some of that yesterday.
Yep, I have some wreckage here.
All right, where's my... So someone had to go outside and start the...
In the 70s, Mama's got gummy bears. She was telling us about yummy gummy bears earlier.
Yeah, I have a little bit of wedding cake right now.
Oh, isn't that pretty, huh?
Little bud of wedding cake.
And I love the picture behind you. That's the most beautiful picture of all.
Look at those trichomes. Beautiful.
That's Mama's chili bomb.
That's awesome.
Why don't you tell everybody about that? There's a lot of new listeners out there that might not know about that.
Mama's Chili Bomb was a cultivar that I bred back in 2016. And I had a friend from Canada that was on the Hash Church named, he was actually a moderator at the time, and he was a breeder. And, he's kind of just dabbled a little bit for himself, but he had a channel and he had a video on there that showed how to build a breeding chamber. So that if you're like in some confined area, how do you breed if you don't have a lot of space? And it was like a big Tupperware plastic container that was turned sideways and cut a hole for the fan and cut a hole for the light. And then you had like a tray collector around the bottom. Well, actually the right at the stem, where some of the pollen would fall, and you could collect it on this tray. So I thought, well, I could do that in another closet. And so I tried it. I had one of his breeding projects was called Headspace. And it was Headbanger times Tangerine Dream. And I just had a beautiful male and I really wanted to breed it. So I put that in that breeding chamber that he was talking about and put it upstairs. And I had a beautiful cut of cherry bomb in my tent. And so I went ahead and hit that at 21 days in flower. I had collected the pollen and just, painted it on. And what I did was I had a beautiful, at the time, a big deck area, and we were way out in the boonies, surrounded by trees. So I could just wheel that outside every single day. I had a little wheelbarrow, and I wheeled it out onto the porch so it could have sun every single day. And then at night, it was like a baby. At night, I would take the wheelbarrow and wheel it back in so nothing would happen to it. And I did that for 9 weeks. And I want to say I got about 1,000 seeds out of that. And so we, through, networking, we just sent it out to all kinds of different people that wanted to test it. And finally, we got somebody in Canada that had a really, really nice cut. And he ended up having a friend that worked at an LP and gave the guy the cut. And then he grew it out, loved it, and took it into the LP. So now it's on the medical shelves in Canada. So it's just a little breeding project that went much further than I thought it would.
That's a cool story. I love that story.
Oh, congratulations. That's wonderful.
Yeah, definitely a cool story.
Thanks.
So that would be fun to get Chillaboo on here sometime.
Yeah.
What is it called, Lisa? Because I'm up in Canada. Maybe I can find that stream.
It's called Mama's Chili Bomb. Yes, for step. I did it for, kind of a tribute for Hash Church, because Chili Boo was the moderator, and then Mama, and then it was Cherry Bomb. So I just kind of stuck all three of those words together for Mama's Chili Bomb.
I love it.
Bingo says he still has seeds. I hear Bingo's supposed to pop them on 420. I think he was telling us in chat the other day. Wasn't he telling us that, Kathy?
I think we
heard rumor Bingo was going to pop them on 420 with us.
I heard the
I'll
word
believe it when I see it.
I know, huh? Exactly. He's been threatening that for years, huh, Mama?
Mm-hmm.
How's everybody doing in chat out there? Thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate y'all hanging out. Octo Tom, we got Sam Heads. What's up? What's up? We got Bingo Lombardi, of course. Ready to hit hot fire. How are you? Les, I'm ready to hit another one. I'll take another dab with y'all.
That's a good deal.
Heck yeah. What else? What else? You got any questions for 70s Mama or anybody else out there today? Pretty awesome. We're catching up old times. We haven't hung out for a long time, so I'm really happy that we've reached back out and reconnected and hung out with Octo Tom a little bit last night. That was pretty fun. And you know, I love hanging out with you guys offline. I really do. And that's kind of why I wanted to go live this morning, because I want to tell people that there's so much behind the scenes. Like, people don't understand. You've got to get out. You got to click on some of these Zoom links. You got to get in some of these chat rooms so you can meet more people, because this is what virtual life is going to be like for a while.
I agree.
I've been disabled for a while. This has been my life for a while, unfortunately. So maybe I had to prepare for it. Maybe this was, you know, what I needed to do. And you know, I love it. What do you guys think about it?
Well, it's certainly the best alternative to being live in person, touching each other. I'm a very social animal. I need people in my life. I can't just sit at home with my husband and my son. I'm gonna kill one of them or both, or I don't know what. So this is very, very important. You know, you go away, you shut yourself off. And I do it with not just you guys. I have other friends. We get together and we meet like this as well. So it's a good way to keep in touch with all your friends, your family even. You know, you're worried about, you know, your cousins across the country, you know, and you talk to them. You know, it's a very, very good way of communication. I love it.
Well, not only just for us and networking, but think how Zoom has kept a lot of businesses up and running. So,
Yep.
You know, this is keeping our country going. You know, all of the students at the school, we've moved everything online so they can continue education. There's so many things. Zoom came at the right time. That's for
Yep.
sure.
Absolutely. Very lucky to have the internet and have the type of programs that we have available in this time that we're going through right now.
Kathy, that's a really good mention. We should be very grateful of that. And we should be very grateful also of those people that are still out working for us right now, that, you know, are working on the front lines, that are putting their health at danger. And it is amazing that we have this ability. I mean, you can talk to your grandparents on here, you know, everybody can work a Zoom. You send them a Zoom link, they click it, and they go straight there. All they have to have is the number on the top to get in. It's super easy. Go check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. And I sound like I'm a salesman for Zoom. I'm not.
No, but it is an easy platform. And I think, what did you tell me? It was like 40 minutes. You get a 40-minute conversation.
For free. Yeah, it's free. You can go try it out for 40 minutes for free, like 3 times. Or something like that. I haven't done it lately because I did pay a subscription, but you don't have to. Like, you can do it for free. You can go do Skype still too, I think. Skype's still available. Hangouts is still available. There's other platforms. You don't have to do Zoom. Zoom, however, is the best as far as being able to hear everybody, the easiest functioning, I think, the most control, and probably the best volume control, I would say, out of all the other platforms I've used. What do you guys, and more stable. What do you guys think?
It's stable, the stability of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's especially now considering how many people are using it, how many schools are on here. You know, my sister's a teacher down in New Jersey, and I think that they're doing the Zoom as well down there because they're continuing to teach. She teaches high school.
We just had to increase our internet here because working from home, I'm working from home. My husband's working from home. My son is not working, but he's home, so he's streaming stuff. So I was noticing that I was lagging so slow. So I
in fact, a little bit ago, you got robotic on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to, I don't know when it's supposed to kick in. He ordered it yesterday. He's like, quadrupled or even more than that.
Wow.
The amount of gigabytes that we've got, because, and of course,
But
everybody in
you
the
kind of
neighborhood.
need it right now. You need to expand that if you've got a lot of people. Me, it's just one person. The only thing that I have is I have my garden is all hooked up to my Wi-Fi. Alexa takes care of everything. She turns things on, she turns things off. Matter of fact, she woke up just now. She's speaking over there.
She heard your name.
She's telling me what take care means.
Yeah. You have to come up with a code word for Alexa when you don't want her to hear you.
Yeah, I should just use like Echo because I don't have her set to respond to that.
I have Echo instead. But I don't have Echo out here. Echo's in the house.
I don't have anything. I don't want
Echo controls, Kathy has a whole grow hooked up to Echo. Echo controls Kathy's whole grow.
Yeah.
Don't you, Kathy?
Yeah, she does. Yeah. Well, I needed it when I had my hip surgery. Yeah. I wasn't able to get up and do a lot of things when I wanted to. Sometimes it was, when my hip would let me afterwards, because it's,
This is a really good story, though. Like, Kathy, if you think about this, like a lot of people that are older that might not feel like getting up one day. Maybe they can't get up. How cool is that to be able to go, hey, Echo, or hey, Alexa, do this or do that, or da da da. You know what I mean?
Well, I will tell you.
And also, go ahead, tell your story.
For an older person, I had one time I just got up out of bed and my back went out. I couldn't move. I went right down to the floor. And if it hadn't been for the fact that I had that in my bedroom, I don't know what would have happened. I immediately called work and told them that, I couldn't do this. I couldn't get up. Don't expect me in. I'm on the floor. And then I called my daughter through Alexa. If I hadn't, dang it. If I hadn't had that there, I could have been on the floor for days before anybody would have even known that, there was an issue. So besides having her for the garden, just being able to get up in the middle of the night when I had my hip done and had a walker, so I didn't have to turn lights on and off. I could just say, turn on whatever, dining room, bathroom, wherever I was going to go. And it didn't take much to learn how to do it.
Yeah, and I think it's also my mother-in-law is blind, legally blind. And she's getting it now in her home. So she's able to, have it operate certain things. And I think it's going to be awesome, this voice control of all the stuff, these devices that people are being able to get just for that alone, people that get blind or elderly.
I don't worry about anybody listening to them. I'm an old woman. What are they going to hear me talk?
Okay. So the other people, so there's a lot of people that freak out over cameras, right? So I used to put, tape over cameras and all that kind of stuff. But seriously, if somebody really wants to watch porn or they wants to see somebody, they've got free access to whatever they want these days. They're not going to sit here and wait for you to walk by that camera. I'm sorry. I just think people are a little bit too sketchy about some of this shit. Don't you? You're muted,
Lisa.
Sorry. I don't have cameras on the inside, mainly because you started seeing those videos of where they had especially the nursery monitors, that a lot of people were breaking into, and Ring, which, seemed to have a lot of issues as well. Now I have Ring and I have it on my, just on my outside. So I don't worry about that, but as far as something like this, it doesn't, I try to shut my laptop when I'm done so that, my camera's not in view, but other than that, I don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't worry about it anymore either. I shut my laptop, and where I am now, I'm at a roll top desk. So when I'm not sitting here, it's closed. So I do have cameras in the house though, because it helped me when I went back to having my surgery again. The doorbell doesn't work. So I would never know unless the dog would let me know, but at least I could see who it was on the other side of the door. And I could also communicate with the person on the other side of the door and tell them, I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah. I like it. It's just for some reason, it could just be, my internet, but it takes so long for once you get the notification for it to actually pull up the video of who's standing at your door. So it could be like 2 minutes before I could see who's there to answer. And who's going to stand there 2 minutes with no response,
Yeah.
So
Really? I
They're gonna
didn't
be
know they
gone.
took that long. Yeah, I would never
Yeah, I don't
stand
have
there
the-
for 2 minutes. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
I don't have the doorbell.
I don't either. I don't have it either. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an issue. And like I said, I don't know if it's my internet. Maybe other people get their notifications right away, but I have problems with that. But I like the.
I don't want. I guess I don't want. I live out in the country. I just don't want someone. I don't want to get notifications a million times for all the Mormons that come by and try and sell me shit. Or I'm sorry. Or all the Bible thumpers or whatever, all this. I'm just like, I don't want to answer my door. I don't want all those notifications, I'm out in the garden.
Nice, I had somebody try to break into my garage, and I have an unattached garage, but I had cameras facing towards my garage, and you couldn't really see because they were on the other side of the garage, but you could see the truck pull up. You could hear the loud noise banging, and I could see what time it was. I could see the truck they were actually driving in, and I was able to file a police report. They really weren't able to get into the garage. They tried, but they really messed up my handle system. So it cost me about $350 to replace all that because I couldn't open my garage after they did that. So but that's where it comes in handy. Or if you're gone and you're at work and somebody's ringing your doorbell, you can act like you're there and answer the door and say, I'm sorry, I'm just not available right now. But they don't know if you're there or you're not there. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't have the Ring doorbell. I just have a camera that's out there.
And I can definitely see where, if you lived in a different area, if I lived in a different area, I would have those things. And I think that, just like Kathy's saying, we're lucky to live in this day and age where we have these abilities to do what we have, because think about what we've just lived through in our lifetime. Like literally, I lived through the microwave. Like when I was a little girl, we had the first microwave, right? It didn't used to have a microwave, right? That was like one of the inventions.
I never had a television when I was a kid until.
Didn't have a television?
Well, we couldn't afford a television, until finally we got an old black and white television, right?
Yeah. So, we think about these things.
You're the same as me, right? We're in our 60s, so we've seen, colored. My first pictures, they were all black and white.
We had black and white. I do remember when we got the first color TV.
Yeah.
It's a
in the
huge
70s.
difference.
Yeah, we didn't get our first color TV till the 70s. I think it was like, yeah.
No, I think we had one in this.
No, we didn't have one in the 60s. I remember it was in the 70s.
Mid to late 60s.
And I think about it now, right? We had one television. I got one here, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 televisions in this house. Why?
Well, because everybody goes off on their own now. Back then, you all sat down and watched TV as a family.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we've gone wrong in a lot of ways socially. The family unit sort of split somewhere, and there was no more sitting down to have dinner. And I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm feeling a little nostalgic today.
Hey, I love this time. I like this kind of talk because, we have young guests. Okay, so I'm telling you, the people that we have in our chat, we rarely have older people. And so I love to have these reminiscing things because people don't get to listen to their grandparents a lot of times. They don't listen to this. And I think it's a cool thing to have these conversations.
Call your mother. Call your mother.
Yeah.
Call your mother.
I love having these conversations. And I think that we need to have more of these just nice, peaceful conversations. And that we can all talk about cannabis, but it doesn't have to be growing all the time, and it doesn't have to be, all about everything. We actually have more depth to us, right? And there's more to us.
I was just going to say about, I feel fortunate in the time when I was born because we kind of got the best of both worlds where I was allowed to, walk home from school every day and, you know, uh,
Yep.
go play until it was nighttime and, be home at a certain time. There was, you had that freedom as a child. And then I didn't see a lot of wartime. Not until 9/11 came, we were just kind of getting out of the Vietnam War, and I was really too young to really understand that. And then we had a time of peace for a long time.
Mhm.
So I got to experience that and the security feeling, I'm just felt so good about living in the US, and, we're at peace and I feel secure. And then 9/11 happened. And so, that was a sad time because I do remember yearning for that feeling that I knew was never going to be back, of, feeling that safety. And then, of course, automation and all the things that we've seen come about since then, and computers, and we didn't get the bully. I mean, everybody experienced bullying, but we didn't have to experience the bullying that the kids today are experiencing through triple social media and,
Right.
all these things. And
oh my God,
It didn't
social
follow you
media.
home.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Could you imagine waking up when you were in junior high every day knowing you have only so many followers and all this person over here has this so cool? Like you were on like a scale. Oh my God, I can't imagine living with that. I really
Yeah.
can't. I feel so sorry for you young kids out there. I really, really do. Hopefully the young kids aren't listening because this is supposed to be an older channel. But parents need to keep that in mind. I feel so sorry for the kids today.
Age appropriate, and that's to be determined by the maturity of the child.
Yeah, basing your self-worth on how many likes you got is just not the way I'd want to live.
I don't know. We did have the internet when my kids were younger, but the family computer was in the dining room, and I stood right behind them when they were online. And if I didn't like what was going on, I kicked them out of the chair and I talked to the person who they were talking to.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to play online games unless they were dragging their mother around with them in the game. They go into a room and it would be another person would follow them in, and I would be that person watching on the other side so that I knew what my kids were doing and I knew who they were talking to.
You've got to these days. I mean, you've got to be aware. I mean, I don't have kids. I'd be probably the freaking bully. I would be like the strictest mom. Oh my gosh, I'd be like Gestapo woman. No, kids would hate me. But like,
Kids are gonna hate
I would know all the tricks. I would follow them on their phone. I would I'd use all the technology. Why not?
Yeah, I
know somebody that follows their husband.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's going too far. If you're doing that, you might. Why are you there? But I feel like we in our age group and beyond, we kind of learned how to use the technology. In other words, the technology was to advance, not to be social on. So we use technology, for our works, to stay in communication. It wasn't about social networking at all. And I think it's a total different, a laptop is a total different thing to someone that's below, 30 years old. That's their lifeline.
I remember when we first got the internet, and it was dial-up, right? It was really slow, and I remember
noisy, and it was noisy.
And it was noisy, yeah. And I remember finding a website, a game site, so you would play backgammon or whatever. But they had a chat, and it was the first time I realized that I could talk to people other than in my own place. And this is back like early 90s, I guess. And here we were talking, and this woman is from Australia, and we're chatting, and I just thought it was so cool. And now we can see each other, so that would be even so much better.
Yeah, it's come a long way in a very short amount of time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
My mother still doesn't even have the internet.
Well, my mother never had it up until she died.
Well, my dad had it. My dad worked for Honeywell, so he was into computers anyway. He was for the area here in Massachusetts. He was a VP for
I
quality
often wonder.
reliability.
I often think about my father. He died actually in '84, though. So, how he would have loved all of this. He was such a social person. This would have been right up his alley.
My dad loved it. You just don't get him on there because he had absolutely no idea how to work anything if it went south. You know, he would have to take the laptop to someplace and have them fix it, or he would screw things up. It was bad. Right in the middle
I have to
internet, thank God, but she did have a remote control that she used to call me all the time. My television doesn't work, because she'd done something with her remote control, so I'd have to go over and fix the remote. So it's a good thing she had internet.
I have to bring up what someone's saying in here in chat. Light up again. He says, bottom line, any abuse is not right and has to stop. We're smarter than that as a race. I 100% agree.
I 100% agree too.
I had to say that. I mean, that's right on. Yep. Yes, to that, I'm going to take a huge fat dab because that's amazing. That's a great. I can't even say anything after that. Shut me up.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone out there. Hope you're having a great day today. You know, I actually thought today was Saturday.
It is.
It is.
It is Saturday, right?
Yeah, I have to work tomorrow.
Okay. Because someone said it's Friday, and I'm like, no, it's Saturday, right?
It's Saturday.
And then I'm like, okay, am I really behind? And then okay, because I'm like,
to work tomorrow.
I am so confused right now. Oh my gosh.
And it's not April Fool's either. So
I know. Holy shit. Like earlier, someone says it's Friday. I'm like, no, I don't think so. And then maybe they deleted it, and I don't see it anymore. Okay, maybe they screwed up too. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm really confused. Everybody's confusing me. Speaking of bullying, we were talking about bullying earlier, and I know there's a YouTuber in chat right now. If you'd like to come up, you're totally welcome. She's a female in chat. Just say yes if you'd like to come and talk about that experience. She had some bad things happen to her on her YouTube channel, and I know that we all deal with anxiety on a regular basis, but this is really extreme when some of that stuff happens. She's a really awesome gal. Her name's Gemma. She is autistic. Yeah. And I can't believe someone would actually bully her. It was just awful. I don't know the whole story, but I know she was being bullied and she had some hate go on. And I'm sending love to you, Gemma, out there. Thanks for coming by the chat. And if you'd like to jump on, you're definitely welcome to join us, ladies. Any ladies, welcome out there. If you jump on, today's our Ladies' Day. We might start these once a week. Have a Ladies' Day every Saturday morning, maybe once a week. We'll see. We'll see. Be nice. DK, cheers. Cheers, DK. Our friend DK, love you. Doesn't have to be just ladies. We do love DK.
Hi, DK. Thank you again. DK's my...
Love those diamonds. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
I'm burning the shit out of your banger, though. Outside noise has stopped. Of course, I had the windows open and someone had to start the lawnmower. I don't know why they're starting a lawnmower. There's no lawn to mow yet.
Well, Gemma, thank you for coming by. You're definitely welcome to come by anytime. And I love you, girl, and you stay strong.
Yeah, she's a sweet kid.
Yeah, she is.
And she's a brave kid. For someone to do what she's doing online,
yep,
she's putting herself out there. I think that is awesome. And if anyone is going to bully you for doing that,
and it's going to help people, and it already has helped people. It's those few that you help that you have to remember to get through those bullies.
Karma's a bitch, but those people will get what's coming one day.
Yep.
That is my wholehearted opinion.
The universe has a funny way of evening out the score of things.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, y'all, I say we should call our little sesh. We're going to go offline and maybe we'll chat a little offline. What do you think? That was a nice little hangout. Hang out with the ladies. Let y'all know what this is like behind the scenes. I'm going to throw the link out in chat. If there is anybody who would like to come and hang out after the show offline with us, you're definitely welcome, because I want more and more people to get out there and try this out. You don't have to do it today. We're going to throw it out more often after I go live, because this is the way you build the community, right? So, how's everybody find you? Hi.
Sorry?
How does everybody find you?
Well, you can find me at sorry, I didn't put my whole name in the thing. It's High Live.
That's okay.
It's High Live for today. You can find me on Instagram and Cannabis and YouTube, and right here in my boudoir.
Ha-ha. And Kathy, my lady friend, how does everybody find you?
Live from my kitchen today. And I'm Kathy M on Cannabis. I'm pretty active on there, not so much on Instagram, but I'm Sabrina C on Instagram. And don't really do much on YouTube at all, other than hang with Tara Lee and hi.
And I love that Kathy's coming in from her kitchen, because Kathy has good cookies that she makes.
I love to cook. And I love to, make the
infusions are us.
Generally,
That's Kathy.
yes. I don't generally partake of them because I don't like edibles, but I do make them and I give them away. So
yes.
We should do a segment called Kathy's Cookies.
Yeah.
Kathy's cookies.
Cooking with Kathy's.
Well,
with
I mean,
Kathy's cookies.
if you look at
my
my Cannabis, you'll see all the cooking and the infusion and stuff like that I do.
Yeah. Yeah. And she'll hook you up if you're in her area. Check her out. Go say hello to her. And Lisa, 70s Mama from Hash Church, how would you like everybody to follow you?
At 70s_, it's at 70s_mama on Instagram.
And I will also make sure to have everybody put their links under the comments tonight or under descriptions. We'll get them under there for you sometime before the night is over. I promise you that. So you can follow everybody. And thanks for tuning in. I am Tara Lee Live. Obviously, you're here live on my channel, hanging out. And if you're not here live, you're coming by later, hopefully, and watching it and hanging out with us. Be sure to ring that bell and hit that like button and hit the thumbs up, because it actually helps get the information out there, whether or not you believe it or not. It actually does. It's not a rating thing for me, but it helps get the word out, and we need to keep these cannabis channels up and keep the ratings up. Everybody, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on all these cannabis channels that you go watch. We need to get more active about that, because we have a lot of haters that go in, and we've got to keep those thumbs up and keep everybody get that knowledge going, especially ones you enjoy. If you don't enjoy them, just don't go to them. Just don't support them. But the ones you do go to, please remember to support them. Remember to subscribe. Remember to check them out on a regular and support them. So they'll keep them up.
Spread the love.
Yeah, keep it up. So we love you all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the future. Peace and love, and stay healthy. Plant some seeds. Spread the love.